Hey guys, we're back to LoliCast, except that Jemboy is... I don't know where Jemboy is, but we have a special guest here. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Well, hey guys, my name is Rehn. I'm the stand-in substitute in case Jemboy dies or not here, so...
So
that's my role here.
Because you're here, which is it? Is Jemboy just not here or is he dead?
To be continued. I don't know where he is.
Right, we've been trying to contact him, I want to say all day, but it's been more like all week.
Yeah, it's okay.
We know he's alive. We get like small messages from here and there, but it's because he lives where he doesn't have great internet, more in the countryside. So
I'll get a mail saying help me.
I'll usually get a messenger pigeon with a letter saying, "Hello, it's been a while. I'm doing fine."
He's still here.
Right, he's still here, so not to worry. He's just not on, not here. Sadly, he was supposed to be here. It was scheduled, and we had the confirmation. At least I had confirmation, but you know, well, you can't predict everything.
And let's get into the topic for today.
Right. So the topic today that we're going to be tackling is artist experiences and struggles. So, right, first, tell us about your artist life, Ren. So
artist life. I drew at a very young age, and I didn't have anything in particular to draw. Like I would always, when I was younger, I was really into cars. And I would see whatever car on the street, whatever thing I see in the magazine, I'd just draw it. This is like my only entertainment as a kid.
Yeah. So were you going to be like a car designer?
No, like legit. That's what I thought. I was like, I'm going to be a car designer when
Shit. I grow. Yeah. It's interesting. You drew cars instead of like cartoons or stuff like that?
Yeah, no, it actually... Not later on in my life where I actually started drawing cartoons, anime, whatever. Like this was when at an early age I drew like really like things in my face basically. I couldn't imagine anything.
But weren't you watching like cartoons back then?
Not even cartoons. Like I didn't. It was just entertainment to me, but it wasn't like I never looked at cartoons as art. Like it was like, oh, it looks really cool. That's it.
So it was just a coincidence that cars were just there in front of you, and then you just started drawing them.
Yeah, I like cars because like my brother was working on his own project cars during the time.
Okay. Snap.
And also, I started getting into what do you call those type of drawings where what the fuck do you call that?
Concepts or
not concept? More like you know how you have like a bowl of fruits in front of you and you draw it.
Oh, still lives.
There you go, still lives. I did that a lot. I did a lot of like I wanted that super realistic look. As a kid. I wanted to make it like perfect. It's because my dad draws a lot too.
Oh really?
Yeah, he's really good at drawing faces and like what do you call that? Houses and shit like that. I'm like, yo, I want to be cool like him.
That's sick.
So, yeah.
It's sort of like how I guess that's how you would think I got my creative side is because when I was like really young, my mom used to work for Crayola, so she would get all this like artist equipment stuff. Yeah, and
what the fuck?
She would get clay, she would get crayons, get pencil crayons, all the artist stuff. But she would also draw like portraits, and she was like really good.
Sick.
Yeah, because she would used to draw me when I was younger. I was like, and I saw this, and I was like, whoa. That's cool. But like I always kept that in the back of my mind, like, oh, my mom used to draw like portrait stuff, and it never really hit me that I wanted to, or it never really struck me as I wanted to draw super realistic faces and people like that, because even at that time I was also watching cartoons, so I guess like the ideas and mingled. I was like, oh, I want to draw something more stylized.
Yeah, now that I think about it, like. I was probably like a retarded kid, like I had no imagination or anything like that. Like legit, I cannot imagine like anything, like I don't want to draw cartoons or whatever. I'm fucked up.
Damn, dude. You were a retarded kid, shit.
Yeah.
But I kind of understand where you're coming from, because I had a big imagination, right, too, but I couldn't I didn't know what to draw because I couldn't bring anything into my imagination because I didn't know I didn't have reference of what was really good. Because I know like I could start drawing and I'm like, oh, I can be artistic and draw too, but I wouldn't know what to draw because I didn't know what I wanted to do in the future or what I wanted to draw in the future. So I see where you're coming from. It was like, huh, what do I do? What do I want to draw?
No, but your kid's like, fuck, just draw whatever's in your head, right?
Right. But yeah,
really, that didn't happen with me.
But even then, like, I hated still lives. Is this called still lives? Still life?
I don't know what the
life.
actual term is.
But either way, I hated that, and I hated the idea of doing that. It's because I wanted to draw something fun. Why am I trying to draw a damn bowl with a banana and one apple? I'm like, who cares if I can draw this realistically or good? Who will care about an apple on a table? That's
why I'm telling. This makes me think I'm really had a problem as a kid. I swear.
No, you were just looking far into the future because you're already designing cars.
No, now it's the opposite. Okay, it's the opposite. I'm like, how old now? And now like, hey, now I'm imagining this. I'm gonna draw this. No, it's like it's the other way around. Yeah, I get where you're coming from.
But yeah, because I was more of because I would like to think I had a big imagination as a child, but I wanted to be like more free and stylized, so I stayed away from that stiff still life or realistic portraits. Like I thought drawing realistic was cool, but I wanted to draw it more stylized, like how like anime and cartoons. Because early on I was super influenced, and I was like, ooh, that looks really sick. So yeah, I grew to hate like realistic, like super realistic and stuff like that. Fine arts, there we go.
Yeah,
the fine arts just made me mad.
Damn.
It's like I have respect for it, but it's just like not my cup of tea. Because you see those sketch this pose in like 30 seconds in charcoal, and then they do it and it looks really good, right?
Yeah.
But then it looks realistic, but then to me it's just the human body is stiff anyways. They made stiff poses, so then your painting or your drawing looks stiff, and then if you even look closely, it's like it looks good from far, but if you look like in detail up close, it looks kind of messy. It's like, I want to draw neatly. Where's the digital art?
There's no digital art yet for us. We're that young. But like, was there any artists that you looked up to, or during the time?
Yeah. So
let's say at a young age, was there like, you know how you look at cartoons like, yo, I want to draw like that type of cartoon, and you'd always keep that style going. You know what I mean? Was there anything like that, or was it just like whatever?
At the very, very, very young age, do you know the band called Prozac?
No.
Well, Prozac had a very like shitty cartoon face that represented their band. Like two people. There was basically two people in that band, or representing that band, but they were cartoon characters, right?
Okay, yeah.
And they were drawn really bad. Like you could tell, like a 10-year-old drew it.
Yeah.
But to a 10-year-old, that's whoa!
It was a masterpiece.
Right? I'm 10 years old and I can't draw that. So then that's what I really want to draw. You can see like the hair was like giant triangles, obviously, and then the face was very sharp, like a box.
Yeah.
And then the eyes were those four lines that made like a rectangle upwards, and then you just filled it in the circle.
Yeah.
So that's basically how it looked, and I was like, whoa, what is that? That looks so sick. And that made me so like hyped or pumped. I was like, I wanna draw something like that. You know, I wanna draw like that. So then, it's so shitty because that's the first thing I'm exposed to, and then I started drawing like that. But then that's how like little kids are supposed to start drawing. But to me, that's like, people are like this good. So then I use that as reference, thinking like I was better than everyone else's drawing. But no, that was the standard for like kids that were like 7 years old, and I was like, whoa! And oh man, but yeah, that really made me happy to see art like that. And I was like, I need to draw that. But that was like, I guess that was my first ever art influence or experience as a young child.
That's true.
Did you have any influences other than cars?
No, well, other influence. It's more like the only reference I had was whatever was in my house. Like I would draw those I would draw like a lamp in my house, and I try to make it as hyper realistic as I can.
Man, you artistic as fuck.
Like, that's what I thought was cool, dude. I was like, before 10, I was like that. My sister probably has drawings still that she kept, because I'd always show everyone, like in the house, like when people go eat, I'll run downstairs, show everyone, like, hey, look at this.
Wow.
Right? So that's sort of how I started. I technically grew up with my nephew, and we're like somewhat the same age. This is really weird because my sister's really old, but he wanted to learn how to draw, and I showed him how to draw a person.
Wow.
I told him the references that we had was basketball magazines. My brother-in-law had a lot of basketball magazines. I was into basketball too, and both of us were, and all we did was like try and draw human bodies jumping and playing basketball or whatever, right?
If any art teacher saw you at that young age drawing realistic stuff, they would be so proud of you.
Well, now me being like over 20, it's just the complete opposite of what I was doing as a kid. But yeah, no, my nephew is probably better at me drawing right now. Yeah. When he was small, he asked me, he's like, "Can you teach me how to draw?" I'm like, "Sure." I showed him how to draw a person where it would look like, I told him to draw a circle, and then I told him to draw a rectangle as the body, and stick legs, and then whatever. He started off as that.
You had guidelines? Damn. Structure?
That's it. It was more like just to show him how to draw, right? And then after that, I don't know what the fuck he did, but from there on, he started drawing like actual human figures and like the angles that the people were. I remember he legitimately drew a picture of two people, like, you know, one person dunking, another person trying to block it, and it's on an angle where it looks like someone's lying down on the ground and taking the picture of them jumping. Like,
damn,
he already
I can't even do that.
he had the perspective, shit like that, like,
oh my god. Yo.
And then from there on out, like, we just started bouncing off each other, like showing drawings to each other and shit like that. And that's how it started.
Beat him up, assert your dominance.
Damn. Bro, like, he's super good. He's super good.
That's crazy, yeah.
Yeah.
I struggle with super perspective stuff like that. Like, holy hell.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. When you're a kid, there's really no boundaries. You don't know what's right, what's wrong. You just, whatever's in your head, you draw it, and you think it looks cool, right? That's how it is.
That's
man,
sick.
I need to ask my sister. She probably still has some of the pictures that me and him drew. We were doing like some some weird stuff. And then later on in my life, I figured out how to draw graffiti. That's just by chance.
How did you get into graffiti?
Graffiti was, I was helping my dad with
graffiti.
Graffiti. Cleaning the gutters in our house. I was up on the roof with him because my dad's like that, you know, bring like a kid up in the roof to help him. No.
You work for your pay. You work for your food.
Basically. And in my backyard we have a train track, and just by chance, I didn't know, but in those train tracks there was actual, like, what we call pieces, or like graffiti pieces. People drawing murals on the thing. When I first saw that, I'm like, whoa, like, this is cool. Like, it's cool lettering and then like cool designs on it. And as soon as we were done cleaning the gutters, I went downstairs, I started drawing. I started trying to copy them, right? Like, that's what it was. I started copying them and shit like that. Yeah, it was really weird. Really, really weird.
So you're just drawn to like how stylistic it was?
Yeah, that basically took over, like, that was like my beginning of puberty, where I want to be like a cool guy. I want to freaking vandalize shit, you know what I mean?
You want to tag some turf?
Yeah, exact. No, it was legit like that, because there was similar groups of kids that were like that in my neighborhood.
Shit.
Yeah, so what we did, we would like dominate parks. We would have parks tagged up and shit like that. And then there would be days where they would cross our names out, and we'd like fucking we would stay there and wait like, who the fuck did this? It was a really weird stage of my life. I'm just surprised.
The hood life, yo. Playing a dangerous game.
Oh, you're stupid.
So, are you still drawing to this day?
Yes.
And what are you drawing?
So now I'm trying to draw more of anime cartoon style.
Mm-hmm.
I've been leaning towards that. I guess it's just because in my teen years, anime was like almost like a big part of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's like it's the only thing I would watch. That's what it was, man. I thought it was cool as fuck.
It is cool as fuck. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
No, like legit. Like I got interested in like I told my friends, I told Salvador, I told everyone. I was like, yo, give me recommendations. Like what's cool to watch, and I'll like watch everything, right? And that's how it sort of started. Is like, yeah, I want to be like these artists. I want to animate like them. I want to sort of copy their style. I want to draw like them, right?
Yeah.
That's how it started. Like, now that we're older, what are some of the artists that you follow, or some that you aspire to be?
I have said this in the last podcast, but my artist influence to this day is most, if not all, the artists in Medical Whiskey, a blog that we'll put in the link in the description below. That's still up to this day. From how long ago? I was like the beginning of high school. Because again, I got my first computer and actually started watching a ton of anime and drawing a ton of anime at the graduation of grade 8. And then that's when my family got me a computer as a graduation present. And I was like, yo, this is lit, yo. And I just started binging everything that summer. And then so I started looking for good artists to follow. And I just stumbled upon this art site called Medical Whiskey. And if you listened to the last podcast, you know the history of Medical Whiskey. We made our own blog, Medical Tequila, and then our blog died off. But other than that, like all the artists there are just crazy good, and I always just looked up to them. And then another, and my highest priority, current top influence right now is a single doujin artist called Ishike. Like, his style is where I want to be, and that's where I want to work up to get to that place. But his style is so different, and it's just hard. Like I'm always in this conflicted battle between, am I complacent with my own style, or do I go towards more of Ishike's style, or do I go for a different type of style? Because I see other great artists around, but I know that I have to keep like focused on Ishike. Like that's because no one other artist has like inspired me as much as Ishike. So
yeah, that's true.
Oh man, freaking yeah, that's like his art like not only made me go but it also made my heart go
That's really that's really deep.
But yeah, I love his art. I'm a million years behind him, but I totally.
But definitely looking at our artists, you should really look at them more as a good reference type than actually copying them.
Yeah, definitely what I want to work on is like my coloring or shading. I need to make it more realistic or soft. I don't know how I'm supposed to do it, but it's he does it so perfectly.
Damn, you can color and shade. I can't even do line work. This is where.
Do you have any current artist influences or influences right now?
Not really any current artist. Like I don't have really influences, but more like people that I admire. And if I have trouble, I'll go to them and look at how they would draw it and do like almost do like studies on them.
Wow.
Right? But it's definitely one of my top artists is the artist for Bleach.
Oh yeah, you're right. He
What's
does
his
some great art.
Kubo? I don't know what his full name is, but I know there's something Kubo in it. But yeah, his style of art is really, that's what stood out to me. Even though I was watching a lot of anime, to be honest, everything looked the same to me. It was really just different plot, just same art. But when I watched Bleach, when I read Bleach, like holy shit, like you can tell this artist grew as the series went on, and his style
I love when you
so
can tell
defined. It was so good. Like you can tell instantly that like, hey, that's the Bleach, it's the fucking Bleach artist, right? I just loved his style, the way he drew the faces, the way he sort of created his characters and how they look. All of them. I really dislike that sort of Barbie styled like anime where it's like you can take anyone's hair, put it on another person. That's hey, look, it's that person. Or change the eye colors, like hey, that's another person. Out of all, like, it's that's what I really disliked about some animes that I watched.
Definitely.
That's how it was. But like finding my own style was really hard.
So how did you find your own style?
It's just drawing, like legit. Like all I did was I just told myself like I'm just gonna keep on drawing anime. I'm gonna keep on drawing figures, whatever, and see where it takes me.
Really?
It looks like, yeah, because if I feel like if I kept on copying a person or whatever, I'm just gonna get too attached to it.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
So where do you think you are in like your style right now, though?
It's at like very base. Like I just started taking it seriously with drawing anime and shit like that. So there's really no style yet. It's just figures. And was it hard for you to find a style, or was this something that came natural to you?
Ooh, you don't even know how hard and many years I tried to. I searched for my own style, or the meaning of my own style. Oh my gosh. So this maybe around grade 10, I started getting into, or grade 9 to 10, I started getting into digital art because I got a tablet.
Oh, okay.
And then, cause yeah, you already, I drew my interpretation of other pictures, right? But
okay, yeah.
But my interpretation like really sucked. It was just like I'm trying to draw what I see, but it's not really turning out to what I see. So once I started to get into digital art, I knew my art sucked. I already knew that from the beginning. It's like, I see these great artists. That's where I want to be. But my art right now is really, really bad. How do I stand out? It's like I need my own style. This is what these artists have. Is their unique style that I can tell, like this artist did this picture and this artist did that picture. So then I started this like year-long journey of thinking to myself, trying to find out how to find your own style. I would like search up DA posts about it or artist posts about it. I would try to find the meaning of thing.
Did you see any like pattern going on when you're looking at like DeviantArt posts or artist posts saying
they're all
like
bullshit.
how to find a style?
They're all bullshit. Fucking hate DeviantArt.
Hey man, it's a great community, okay? God.
Whether artists are good or bad, they all think they're good and they all shove their own opinion down your throat. I'm like, I don't need this. And they say the most generic things like, oh, good. But so then I was at a loss. And then around the time of grade 11 or 12, around December or sometime, my dad was going on vacation 1 month to the Philippines. And he wanted to bring me there too.
Damn, this is where you found your own style, in the Philippines.
And this is where I went on the biggest grind of my life. So I'm like, okay, there's not much internet here, and there's not much I can do in the Philippines because I don't know the area as much. So I just stayed in like my room. I went on medical whiskey, like 24/7, and started drawing what I saw in my sketchbook non-stop, and then also drawing my interpretations of like, what if I tried to put this guy's style into my style, if I try to copy his style, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then
I know
so
what you mean.
throughout that month, I slowly realized that everyone there at Medical Whiskey has their own style, and it's so good. But why do I like their style? And then I thought, what specifically do I like about their style? And then that's where it hit me. Freaking a style, someone's style, like it's hard to just come across it, unlike how you're doing it is like winging it, and then it'll like naturally come to you. To me, I always felt like I need a formula, I need something. I always thought in like such a calculated mindset that it was like breaking me apart. That's why I tried to go find my own style, thinking that, oh, I found it, it's right here. So, but yeah, this month grind in the Philippines, drawing non-stop in my sketchbook, it hit me that like the way to find my style is because there's nothing original in this world anymore, or there probably is, but in artist like terms, like a lot of stuff is not original. Everything is based off of another thing. So what makes like two styles different? Something is tweaked, something is changed, something is done differently. And then that's where it hit me. I was like, why don't I choose my favorite parts of all these artists' styles, and then combine them together? Right? I combined them together because
Smart.
then like, I was doing that thing where you said like, I don't want to just copy one single artist and then haha, I'm good at art, look at my art, and then it's like, oh, you're just this artist copy, like you're just copying their I'm like, oh, that's how I kind of felt like comic books, because a lot of the art just looked the same. I was like, which artist did this? I definitely know what you mean. So I see these artists with such great styles, but then I was realizing what I like specifically about their style. And then so I took all of those things, like I like the way this artist does his eyes, I like the way this artist does his proportions, I like the way this artist does his line work, I like this artist how he does his coloring. And so I combined all of that, and anything else that I learned along the way, into quote unquote my own style. Because now it's based off like a bunch of artists that I like highly respect, but now it's totally different, that it's not a carbon copy. And so that's how I got into got my style from that month of grinding in the Philippines. So again, big thanks to Medical Whiskey, that blog that made
in the description below.
Right?
Why are we plugging these guys? But yeah, definitely they do have really good artists there in Medical Whiskey.
Yeah, I finally understood after like thinking over like 2 to 3 years of what is my own style. And then even today, my style continues to evolve. Like I also learned that you don't need to have a style and then stick to it right away. Just like how you said the artists from Bleach, his art evolved. That's I really like seeing that in an artist also. Same with the artist of To Love You. Freaking his art evolved, and it was it felt so nice seeing that art evolve. And so even my style continuously evolves. If I see something that I like, I'll experiment with it, and then if I like it, I'll keep it and add it into my arsenal of quote unquote my style. And so that's how I got quote unquote my style.
Ooh, okay, that's cool. Actually, it's a really good way to actually view people's art, or people that you admire. You know what I mean?
Because there was no DeviantArt post that said this. There was no freaking.
I feel like DeviantArt's more of a site where you can advertise your shit.
Right? It's somewhere to start and it's somewhere to grow. But like I said before, it's not somewhere to stay. Freaking every post or thing I saw about like your own style is like continue onward on what art you like and draw the art you like, and then you'll eventually, after much practice, feel the way that you want to draw it. I'm like, some bullshit. I need specific words, instructions,
I guess it's different for everyone. That's what it is. Is there anything you're struggling with right now, like with drawing?
Financially, I'm struggling. No.
Hey man, you wanna talk? Is everything okay?
Honestly, I need a place to crash.
I can give you a place, but like it's gonna be my washroom though, like this whole place.
Oh no, but I'm constantly struggling with my own style of art. It's always something new, I guess you can say. Do you know like how you're supposed to, when you draw a picture, you're supposed to like take breaks, take a step back, and like look at your picture? Because if you don't do that, then you'll get caught up in this flow of, oh, this picture is so good, it's going so well, and then you start to miss. You start to get carried by that idea and thinking it's perfect, there's no mistakes. That if you don't take a break, and you won't see the mistakes then. That's
why my comment to that is go with the flow. Do like, if you feel confident in your drawing, you just keep on drawing it instead of taking a break. Finish it through, and then a day after, look at your drawing and see what's wrong. Because like, by the time you start, once you take a break and you look at your drawing, you're just gonna lose your sort of like your momentum in the drawing. You know what I mean? That's why just push through the drawing is what I would always try and do. And then after a day later, look at it again and be like, okay, there's a few things that I missed. Because like, once you're in that momentum, that's you in the state of actually trying to draw. This is you in the state of enjoying drawing. That's what it is. It's, I don't know, man. It's really hard. You always just gotta take maybe even like a small break. Just look at it, like everything, and then continue drawing. Just make sure, because this happened so many times to me when I first started posting like a lot. I would spend all night till like 3 a.m. like streaming or drawing a picture, and then I would be like, yes, this picture is going so well, it's so good, yo, and then I finish it at 3 a.m. I post it everywhere. I'm like, I'm so good at this game. I go to sleep, I wake up, I look at the picture, I'm like, what happened?
Right?
This like you
woke
up he woke up from like from a night of drinking.
Right?
Like, wait, this is what I did?
Right? And you start to see like, that's out of proportion. That's not colored properly. This should be shifted to the right. What am I doing? I forgot to color that. I did that. I never learned from my mistakes back then.
Oh, wow.
I just kept doing that. Because I didn't understand getting caught in the flow of drawing and then thinking you're invincible. Because it feels so good to finish a picture, and then you're like, oh, I'm so proud of myself. I'm so happy it turned out so good. And then,
exactly. That's one of the joys of drawing.
But you know what they say, ignorance is bliss. Because if you don't know about it, then it's not your problem. But once you see it, then it's your problem. The same thing.
That's why you gotta wait for the problem to come.
Yeah, exactly. Another instance like that happened to me in college when I was taking my art course. I was drawing on this desk on a big sheet of paper, right? And it's a big desk and it's a big sheet of paper, so I'm drawing, but I'm trying to rush it because I think it's going well. I'm trying to rush it because we only have like 30 minutes to draw this shit.
Okay.
So I'm drawing, and I'm like, this is pretty good. I'm pretty happy about myself. But the problem was, I didn't step back, so it was too late at the end. So when I finished drawing, you know how it's on a big sheet of paper on a big table, right?
Yeah.
So when it's on a big sheet of paper on a big table, your vision is skewed because you're looking down on an angle on this long piece of paper instead of looking directly at the paper when it's like flat facing you. So when I picked it up, the angle changed. I was like, whoa, this is stupid. This is so dumb. What did I do? And that's where I realized, like, oh my god, because freaking the paper's like a meter long, and I'm only looking at it like at a freaking like 30-degree angle. I compensated for that degree angle, and I thought people would only view it at a 30-degree angle, right? So my proportions were all kinds of screwed, and I was like, oh my god. So that's why
I know exactly how you feel. I know exactly how you feel, because
oh my god,
the only way I can relate to that is back in I was doing like my graffiti shit, and I was tagging. Okay, now we're talking about a big wall. We're talking about something that's fucking 10 meters by fucking whatever how tall it is, and yeah, I sort of had that where I would focus on like one thing, whatever's in front of my face, and I'd start spraying, I'd start coloring, and then when I look back, I'm like, wait, why is one letter like almost tilted to the side, the other one's bigger than the other, right? Like now it just got really weird. I'm like, you know what? I'm just not gonna draw on big walls anymore. I can't do this.
Oh man.
Oh.
And another thing that happened recently, where that's the speed paint drawing for this new Splatoon 2 idol, Marina.
Yeah.
I was coloring that, finishing it on stream, I believe. Yeah, I was streaming the final touches. Yeah. And I was trying to like, because again, this is where your tunnel vision focused on coloring or on your picture, right? But you're tunnel visioned on specific parts of your picture, not the whole picture. Because like, I need to finish this part, and then I need to finish this part, and I need to finish this part, right? Yeah. And then I finished the picture. I was like, oh yes, it's so done. Thanks for joining, guys. And then I made the video. I made the speed paint video, and I posted it. A day after, I fucking looked at the video, and the video's still up to this day. And I haven't changed it because it would take 3 hours just to change one picture in that video. But that video, if you watch the beginning picture and the end picture of the finished product, the fucking middle of the picture, the zipper is not colored at all. It's just ugly blank silver. And because I was like, oh, look at the detail here, here, here. And then I finally looked at the middle of the thing. I was like, what the fuck is that? And then I was like, what? And then so I went back. I spent like 30 minutes finishing shading the zipper, coloring it and all. And then I was like, I don't want to spend another 3 hours to 4 hours re-rendering a goddamn video to change one picture in this thing. So I just re-uploaded the finished picture to every site that I uploaded the unfinished picture, and I was like, fuck.
This is my life now. The moral of the story is, kids, don't tunnel vision.
Exactly. Step back, and before you post or before you do anything, look. Make sure, because there's no bigger regret than you think you're finished and then you're not finished, and now because you thought you were finished, you have to go and change a bunch of shit, and it's embarrassing, and you're like, I'm a failure. Oh man, it was, because that was my most recent mistake of not taking a step back.
You know what? Now that I realize I should take a step back.
Right, even if it's a quick step back, as long as you take a step back. But this was connected to struggles I currently have. So this was like taking a step back, but it's also related to struggles I currently have. Is I'm not satisfied with my style. Oops. And it gets me like really. Here I go again, staying with like my style. You know, it's like, it's my style. I'm trying to, because my style, my goal is Ishike, right? And I already can tell like my art sucks. It's like below. But I know my art is decent, but it's not where I want it to be. This is something also I mentioned on the last podcast, where I know where I want to be. I'm not there yet. I know that my art's decent, but I'm not where I want to be. So whenever people say, "Whoa, your art's so good, it looks so great," on the outside I'm like, "Yo, thanks, man," but on the inside I'm like, "Yeah, thanks." Because it's just I may have like it's not like it's freaking I'm good, whatever. I'm disappointing myself basically, but I know it's like I feel like I'm disappointing myself, but it's not like I'm gonna reach Ishike level in one night. So I'm slowly like building my way towards that style, and then because I'm discontent with my style, but I'm still like trying hard. The moment I see another good artist and another good style, I'm like, oh, should I try and use that style now? And then I get conflicted, like, should I stick to Ishike style and continue on the hard long path, or should I try something experimental and try something different? And then I've fluctuated styles many times, trying out different things, but I always go back to trying to reach Ishike. But it's always the small things like that I try to like, oh, maybe I'll try to color this differently, and then it works, and then I take it in. But like completely different styles, like just being discontent with my style, even though I know it's kind of decently good, is one of the struggles I have, because then it hits to like demotivation and depression.
It's just. It really has to do with, I guess it is for your own self-satisfaction each time you draw.
Like, I'm grateful and I'm super happy when people say they like my art, and that's good. Like, if anyone likes my art, I'm like, oh, that means I'm doing something right. But so, like, but I'm also trying to impress myself, and myself is not impressed. So I'm still trying hard and harder.
Yeah, well, that's legitimately the grind, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. Do you get demotivated or depressed?
No, not really. I don't. I guess because I never really took drawing like really like super seriously. It's more like if I want to draw, I'll just draw, or if I'm doing it for a project, or if I'm doing it just for fun, I just like drawing it like that. And like now, actually learning how to draw. Like when I say quote unquote I draw anime, it's more like I just learned how to draw. That's what it is. Like I'm just at the very beginning of the stage of drawing, and I don't really feel demotivated. It's just my priorities. You know what I mean? But whenever I'm drawing and I finish something, it doesn't look right, I'm like, okay, I'll just turn the next page or just draw something else.
Yeah.
I try to keep the mindset of trying not to get attached to a drawing, something that I recently drew. You know what I mean? Because like then you have like an expectation for yourself, and there's a lot of really simple things that you can mess up really easily. Definitely. Because you have that in the back of your mind, like I need my drawing to look like this from what I drew 2 days ago or a month ago, right?
Yeah.
And then like this is what happens when you sort of want to, what do you call that, like improve, I guess, because I got that a lot when I was into like street art or graffiti, whatever you want to call it. I'd always look back and be like, I need my lettering to look the same as what I did before. I want it to make it feel like it's the same as before. And I would always fuck everything up, like it would just look completely different.
Yeah.
That's about it. I really have no struggles yet. Not yet. More like just grinding it out.
Yeah. So it's like more of a fun experimental thing for you, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Right now it's more like that. Like, I'm gonna try this.
I feel like because this is how I see it, and like this is like an example. Because you know, like if you start a new like online game, and then you don't know how to play, but it's fun. It's like, I'm doing this for fun, right? And then you're just having fun playing this online game. It's like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm having fun doing it.
Yeah.
But the moment you understand what you're doing is the moment you try to get a bit more competitive and do right things. And then that's when you get kind of mad at like other people or yourself. It's like, why didn't I do this or thing? Why didn't this guy like support me? Like, what are you doing? And that's how I feel like the example for how I started drawing. It started off all fine and dandy, like, I'm drawing for fun because I don't know what I'm doing, but at least I'm drawing, you know, I'm having fun. The moment I got a basic understanding of it, and then I tried to actually draw good, is the moment I got competitive, and and I'm like, why can't I draw this good? Why am I not doing this? Oh my god. Man, that happens so many times in games to me. That's how, just an example, like I think that's how when you and me started playing Blacklight, that's what happened. Like I'm like, yo, yeah, I was like, yo, this game's hilarious fun. I don't know what's going on, and so I'm gonna do this and this. But then the moment I had a basic understanding, I'm like, whoa, okay, do this and this and this. Then I started getting more mad. I was like, god damn it, why did I die? Blah blah blah. Yeah, it's the same. It was the same with drawing. Just,
I guess that's true.
The moment you take it seriously is the moment you get like angry at yourself.
That is very true. I feel like I'm not competitive by heart, like legit. I'm not good at taking things competitively. I don't know how to explain it. It's like, okay, let's say with games, okay? Games is a big thing. People take it really competitive. People, they want to get good, I understand that. Just the factor that I look at the most is it fun? Is it not fun? You know what I mean? Like, it just, I guess it's just, I hate competitions in general. I don't really, I don't know how to explain it.
It's because you're a nice guy, Rehn.
I mean, I understand it's a good drive for self-improving, gets better or whatever. It's just like, in the end, like, did you like it?
Exactly, yeah. There's just separate types of people, or people who want to be competitive and want to get good, and being competitive is fun to them, or they want a challenge. Yeah, exactly. Versus like people who just want to play to have fun, where they want to enjoy it with everyone instead of trying super hard and then it takes the fun out.
Exactly. Well, that's what I look at drawing. I just look at it as something that's really, it's fun to me. That's why I'm doing, like, that's why I'm trying to learn whatever. I just like showing my art to other people and just bouncing ideas off each other instead of, you know, I remember there's a group of friends where I drew with, like, they learn something, right? But they never share it with, like, their friends. They'd be like, hey, you know, like, I learned this at some site, you should like check it out and maybe it'll help your drawing or whatever. It just, I don't like the, hey, your drawing is not that good, and then that's it. It's like, there's no fucking, like, thanks, man. That's great. Like, fuck.
My drawing's not good, and?
You know, like, because I had a group of friends that like I said, like, the last thing that I drew like a lot was just graffiti, and like, people would like, you know, I like your style, this and that, it's great. Like, I don't like your style. It's just, there was this competitive feel to it because people wanted to get good at it. And then when they start improving, you can clearly see that one person is better than the other. But now they start talking like they're above the person, you know what I mean? Like,
definitely, that's deep.
Their attitudes change, right? Like, the reason why we're all together is because we like drawing this. Yeah. Right? There was no competitive thing to begin with, but I don't know. It's just my take on things.
Yeah.
Really weird.
Fucking deviant.
Yeah, well, fuck you, deviant art. That's what you get.
I'm always gonna poke
I don't know
fun.
anything.
I'm gonna always poke fun at deviant art. Fuck deviant art. You know? Also, another great thing. Here's one of the cool things I found. Something to counter, I guess, demotivation and depression. Is a video I found on YouTube. I'm not sure if you saw it. I linked it a while ago. It was draw like an idiot, like draw stupidly. Because
I think I've seen it.
Yeah, because I feel like I'm one of those perfectionist people that whenever I draw anything, it better be fucking perfect. It better be a masterpiece. 10 out of 10. You know? but that's a bad. People say it's a bad way to think. Like, it's good in its own strengths, but it's definitely a bad way to view art, especially if you know you're not good. And I'm discontent with my style, so it's like, I shouldn't be doing this, because if the moment you make a mistake, you lose motivation to continue drawing, or it's like, oh, why am I even drawing this? Why do I even draw? I'm not good at all. But this video that says draw like an idiot, it really opened my eyes, and I did it once before without realizing it, and it worked before I even saw this video. Basically, you want to draw like an idiot because you need to get out of that perfectionist idea or that perfectionist mindset. Every picture doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be good. Every picture should be a learning experience. Something to go off of. It doesn't have to be a masterpiece. So, and that's what really helped you. So, like, if you suck at drawing, headphones, faces, bodies, draw like an idiot. Draw what you can, but don't be attached to it. Yeah, like you said before, don't be too attached to a picture, and draw it. If it's not that great, well, you weren't trying to make it super perfect. So yeah, again, like you said, turn the page, start drawing again like an idiot. But it starts building a basis for you to actually draw, and you start to see things like, oh, so this is how I draw forearms. So this is how I draw body types.
And then that's how you correct yourself.
And yeah, this is what I did before without realizing it, like before I watched the video. So Jemboy likes to draw like super muscly men, because he's heavily influenced by the comic book style, like Marvel or DC, and they're all super buff, right?
Yeah.
And I've always wanted to learn muscle mass and muscle tone. And at college, I was awaiting, in my art course, I was waiting to have a male model. I was always hoping that he would be buff, but like that never came. So I was like, I gotta learn on my own.
It always turned out to be like average Ben.
Right? Well, we did get one male model, and he was average. I was like,
okay,
who
man.
hiring? But basically, and then one day I was like, I know I can't draw muscles, so let's just try to imitate what Jemboy does and get an idea. So I spent one night for how many hours just drawing. I pulled up some references and then got a basic understanding, right? It's like, okay, so this is the pecs, forearms, biceps, triceps, whatever. And this is how it should look. And then when I was in my class, I just wanted to draw muscle tone to practice. So that I just started drawing like an idiot. Like, I drew over-exaggerated muscles, not to proportion at all. I just drawing because I wanted it to be silly. I also drew a silly face. I also made the guy bald. But drawing like that, and I finished, I was like, this was really stupid. But I actually have a basis and an idea of how to draw muscles now. It actually like really helped. I was like, whoa. I get it. I can see that this should be like this and this should be like that, and then
you should follow through.
And then I started trying to draw muscles more seriously, like back muscles, from back view, front view, posing differently, and and just like in one night or like 2 days, I guess, it turned out really well. Of course, it's not perfect, and I was also just sketching it, but it was like this basic idea. As long as it looks like it counts, you know. I'm not trying to go super realistic, so drawing like an idiot like really helped me, and I just didn't realize that I had to just draw like an idiot. And then when I watched that video, I was like, oh, that's what I need to do. I need to chillax. I need to take a step back.
Just keep on drawing. That's why I try to keep the mentality of just committing to the drawing, even though, like, once you see your mistake, you like just keep noting in your head, but like just continue drawing it to have a basis of what it is. That's really good. So
that like really helped me in just as an artist as a whole, but also like if you draw like that, it'll help with your demotivation or your depression if you're in a rut, if you feel like you're not motivated to draw other stuff. And because another thing, like, I can't, if someone just told me to draw a rock, what the hell how am I going to draw a rock? What?
See, I don't know how to draw rocks either.
Right?
Like,
but then it's like the most simplest thing. So then the thing I would have to do is like, how am I supposed to pull a reference for that? So like the thing you would do is just draw like an idiot. Then you start to get a basis and such understanding of like, okay, if I want to make a rock look good in like a 3D space, yeah, it's chip here, crack here, flat side here, and it's like, oh, okay. It's like, don't try to make a masterpiece. Just draw it goofy. No one draws perfect from the beginning.
Exactly.
Oh, and another good way I personally counter demotivation and depression is music. Definitely, music is one of the biggest influences in my life.
Definitely music. Yeah, music is a big part in how a person feels.
Definitely, it literally controls how I feel. You put on a sad music, I'll cry my life out. You pull in some rock music, I'm motivated and pumped as hell. And I'll draw anything.
Music is what changes our brain waves. Where the fuck it is. We're reading an article on it, but yeah. Okay, so is there like a type of music that you listen to while drawing? Is this like
yes,
a ritual that you have? Is there like a sound, like a playlist that you have that's all ready to go? And then do you have like a secondary playlist when you feel sad drawing? You feel too motivated?
You're not far off. So usually if I need to get started drawing, and I need to draw, and I know I'm gonna draw for a long period of time, and I know like I need a boost in motivation, any music that gets me pumped, put up that rock, put up that freaking metal, put up that trap, And then so then that pump music helps me start and helps me continue on. But then there's some times where it's late at night where you're not supposed to get pumped, but you just feel like drawing, right? So that's where I put on the chill music, Put on the jazz. Put on the electro swing. Put on the old New York style, the trumpets with the saxophone.
Oh yeah.
Put on some calming anime music. Put on some BGMs of some games or animes. But yeah, pumped to get started and to continue on. And when I'm gonna continue drawing and I just need to take it slow, that's where I turn down.
The calm down. It's like a drug.
Right? I bring it down.
But what if you stayed pumped? What if?
I would burn out. I can't stay pumped 24/7. I'd burn out so quickly.
I guess there's a good balance.
I can stay pumped for like maybe 3 hours, 4 hours if I'm really pushing it. But then there's a moment where I break, and then my mind just hurts, and I need to put my head down, and then freaking just.
Just like, I don't know. I don't listen to like nothing like that. It's just I try to concentrate as hard as I can. I guess I did this a lot in university and high school, where when I study, I would listen to a certain song, and say like a good example is like I'm studying math or whatever. I listened to one particular song or one particular genre, and I would keep it going. I'd let it keep on playing, and while I'm doing my test, I would sort of like try and bring back like what type of music I listen to, whatever. It's sort of like it helps me recollect like all the things that I studied for.
Definitely.
Sort of. That's how I use music. But when I'm just drawing, I like it. I don't really use music at all.
Really?
Because it just makes me concentrate. Because when I listen to music, it's just gonna bring back whatever. Now it's a habit. It's a habit now. Like if I drew something, and I listen to music, and I drew another thing, it's just be like I'm thinking about the whatever I was drawing before. It's just a habit. It's really weird. I'm a weird person.
Not even background noise, because sometimes when I'm trying to chill, I put on like a podcast or a YouTube video in the background.
I live in a very noisy house. There's already background noise.
Sorry. Oh.
Well, I contribute to the noise too, but yeah. There's always background noise in this house. I'm okay.
Damn, dude.
Here's bantering and food
Food.
being cooked. People shouting for some reason. They don't have any indoor voices.
They just have
doors
voices.
slamming and shutting. Yeah, that's my background noise. That I try to, not listen to.
You try to not listen to them. You try to blank it out in your mind.
It already happens. It just automatically has like, oh my god, here they go again. I don't know, man.
And one of my like last ways to counter demotivation or get started on like drawing a picture. Sometimes sometimes you just don't want to draw the same thing over and over. Sometimes you want to do something new.
Yeah.
Because I know that I don't know how long it takes for you, but for me, a picture can take from 8 hours minimum to a maximum of 14 hours. And that's like split among like 3 to 4 days. And even the current picture I'm working on, also working on it for speed paint, is taking forever. I'll admit I took a huge break in the middle. I only started recently reworking it. It's like 80% complete. But it's just getting like coloring the final stuff takes so long.
Interesting.
Right? So
I guess
it's like I took a huge break in the middle. But sometimes you don't want to work on the same thing. You need to change it up. You need to do something different.
Yeah,
So that's why it's always good to draw the pictures that entice you. Like, what do you want to draw? If you like, it's good to work on the stuff that you're dedicated to work on, but everyone needs a break from stuff. Like I said, like with music, if I stayed pumped like 24 hours, I would burn out. I burn out at like the 4-hour mark, 5-hour mark.
Wait,
it's the same.
I can't even reach 2 hours.
The minimum I would draw is like 1 to 3 hours, or 1 to 2 hours, I would say, because I at least want to get like an hour work done. But sometimes an hour work could be like something so little, I'd feel bad. But yeah,
So you just push through.
if you draw the same thing or you work on the same thing over and over, you'll burn out eventually, and then you'll lose motivation to do it. So it's good to take small breaks and change it up, do something different. Draw pictures that you want to draw, because I know, like, I wanted to draw. I have like a to draw list, and with 1 billion trillion characters, right? And if you remember that week I just started drawing all those characters we used to have on the quest, like Shy Gal, Isabel. And
yeah.
After that week, I kind of burned out, so I was like, I need to take it slow. And then instead of drawing freaking thick bodies, I need to go back to drawing Lolis. And then so that's why I started drawing this picture, the Rachel Alucard, which is like a Loli. It's like, it really helped. I finished like 80% of it. And this picture is like different. Again, I wouldn't say burnt out, but I was tired of doing the same pose over and over. So I tried a super new, like, dynamic pose. To change it up a bit again, because I don't want to do the same thing over and over, because again, you'll burn out, you'll lose the motivation.
Exactly.
And then I worked on it for a week. I took like a 2-week break. I worked on it a bit this week. I'm probably gonna try and finish it next week, and then continue on working on other stuff. But yeah, draw what you feel like drawing, so you don't lose interest and you don't grow to hate drawing.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to hate what you want to do. Do everything in moderation.
Yeah.
Like, pace yourself. Know your own limit. Like how you said you can't even last like 3 hours. That's your limit, like / your pace.
Yeah.
Mine is 3 to 5, but I try to push for longer, because I'm trying to finish pictures faster. But the more my style evolves, the more things change, and then the more longer I have to take. So I'm trying to like work longer and longer on my pictures also.
I feel like there's no finalized style. It's always going to change.
Definitely.
Right? You're always going to find something new, and it's up to you if you want to incorporate it into it or not. That's what it'll always be.
I guess a simple way of saying this is like, a simple example is like, if you eat hot dogs every day, you're gonna get tired of hot dogs. You're gonna need you're gonna want to eat something different. So then
like a hamburger.
Exactly. You're gonna eat. So then eat something different. If you feel like you're gonna burn out, then change it up. Pace yourselves. Know your limits, and you can continue on from that. Because there's nothing worse than burning out. I would guess I would say I burnt out from the Rachel picture. And again, it's been like 2 weeks, maybe even 3 weeks that I haven't continued coloring that. Other times I burned out, like in the past, I would take like a month to 2 month breaks because, it hurts so much being burnt out. Like if you burn out, like I don't feel like drawing today, or I don't feel like drawing today either, because you just have a bad memory, right? You're like it just hurts to draw that long. Those are like the small things I do to try to counter demotivation, depression, and burning out.
I guess I just never drew long enough or hard enough to really counter those, but eventually I feel like I will.
You haven't burnt out yet, so that's good.
No, I mean, I don't burn out, but more like I feel like I'm in this sort of cycle of I just need to change my routine.
Definitely.
Have time to actually draw or something like that. Cause like legit first like come home from work, all I do is just straight is like, hey, let's just go on the computer and play games, or like go on fucking YouTube or some shit. That's my typical night. That's what it is, right? But definitely, you change my routine and find time to draw. There are goals that I want to reach, but it's just time that I have. I need to work on it. I'm just wasting it. That's what I don't like. That's something I don't like.
Same with me. Like I say, I need to find
time I go to
time.
sleep. Yeah, exactly. When I go to sleep, I'm like, why am I like this?
Why am I like this?
Yeah, exactly.
Why am I useless? I always make excuses for myself. I'm always like, man, if only I had time to draw.
But you did have time.
Exactly. But then you go, oh man, I'm hungry. I should cook something. And after you eat, oh man, I'm kind of full. I need to digest. And then you're like, oh man, I'm kind of tired. I'm time to go to sleep. And they're like, man, there was just no time today.
You make your own excuses.
Oh, definitely. I've made so many excuses for myself. So I would clean my room because I would subconsciously not want to draw. It was like, oh, my room's kind of dirty. Maybe I'll clean it up a bit.
You know what? I think it's time to find the cure for cancer.
I think it's time to volunteer down at the shelter. But oh man, if only I had time to draw.
Is this where we end the pod of the cast?
Oh, but not quite. There's still one more question for you and me. So last podcast, we're gonna do this for every podcast. So if you have any questions for us, leave them in the comment section below, and we'll answer them on the next podcast. But we'll also try to like put speed paints up now and then. I'm working on it. It's taking some time. Sorry. Yeah. But we did get a question from last week's podcast from Gman at 224. Question: what video game character or cartoon character do you think is the hottest and made your willy the hardest when you were younger? I got my list right here, but do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. You know what? Let me go first because Shira has he has a whole list and stuff like honorable mentions and everything like that. So you got Kim Possible. She's thick as fuck.
Tell it how it is.
Watching Beyblade, the pink-haired girl. Now that you're
tell
reminding
it how
me,
it is.
Yes, I just thought. Oh my gosh, I don't know. It's just.
She's cute as fuck.
Yeah, that's what it is. And fucking from Space Jam.
Amen.
Lola Bunny.
Tell it how it is.
When I was a kid, I'm like, why am I attracted to a bunny?
Makes me go.
Yeah. All right, go ahead. You can say whatever.
Yo, Kim Possible. You know you'll beat me if you want to reach me.
Oh.
You know, beep you? You trying to smash? Oh, Mariah / Mao Chen, the pink hair girl from Beyblade, obviously freaking cute as hell when I was younger. Freaking fantasies about her, yo. I didn't understand why, but I was like, oh yeah, I understand why now.
Wow.
Yeah, she was freaking popping, yo. And obviously, you can't go without, like you said, Lola Bunny. It ain't our fault that the writers made her so provocative and so thick as hell.
They over-sexualized her, actually.
Good. I'm glad they did.
Holy cow! Yeah, no, I'm surprised actually. Just thinking about it, like
every time she was on screen, when they introduced her, wasn't there like sexy music playing with her? Oh my god! And even all the other characters were in love with her. I can't blame me. That was the way she walked her hips. Oh my god!
Who let this through?
Right? Are we furries now? I don't know. It's been a furry since whenever Space Jam came out.
A damn long time.
But other characters that I freaking found hot as a child was May from Pokemon. Not Misty, not Dawn, but May. Ooh.
Why not Misty?
Because Misty, definitely Misty had it going, but May, she had the spats. Ooh, skin tights. She had the bandana, and her color scheme was red and black with a tinge of white. That's such a badass color scheme. Oh my gosh.
Frontin' as a blood?
Oh my god. She was hot as hell. She gave off such a badass attitude, but super cute as well. Also, Ty Lee from freaking the Avatar Last Airbender. You remember? I know you all know the beach episode. Ty Lee, the episode with Azula, May, and Zuko. When they went to the beach, it was a filler episode, and it was the beach episode, so it was the fan service episode. I don't know how old Ty Lee is, but when they showed her in the bikini sitting on the beach, her chest was popping. Holy hell. Even before that, when they introduced her, she was super cute and a badass. She could block freaking bending by poking you. Like, what the fuck?
Right.
But yeah, that's what struck me when they freaking showed her in her bikini sitting on the beach. Holy hell, her chest is huge. Freaking gave me all the feelings as a child. And other ones was Sakura from Card Captures, not from Naruto. Fuck that bitch. From Card Captures.
She thought she was useful and ended up useless in the end. That's okay.
Sakura was cute as hell in the Card Captures. Rooted for her the whole time. And Shigo from Kim Possible was also pretty hot. But then there's also the honorable mentions that were pretty hot or pretty cute. XJ9 from My Life as a Teenage Robot. I thought she was cute. Like the way they portrayed her character. Like, just when you portray a character's personality, it's like, ooh. Like they developed her character so much that I just grew attached, and it's like, oh, she's so cute.
Yeah.
Also, Blackfire, Raven, and Terra from Teen Titans. Yo, Starfire's older sister, Blackfire. Ooh, girl. She's provocative as fuck. And then Raven and Terra were just cute, but Blackfire. Also, Angelomon from freaking Digimon, thick as fuck. And Marie from Ed, Ed, and Eddie, the best sister of all three sisters, because she had a freaking black tank top, dyed blue hair covers one eye, exposed freaking belly button, and she wore cargo pants. Are you kidding me with this character design?
I think that's how they made Chloe. Life is strange. That's exactly where they got Chloe from.
Man, stop ripping off Ed, Ed, and Eddie. Yeah, that's my list. Or that's the list I can remember.
There was just so many things that you pointed out that I completely forgot.
If you guys have any more questions for us that you'd like to answer, you can leave it in the comment section below. And what are your guys' video game or cartoon characters that you thought were the hottest when you were younger?
comment below.
But that should end it for this LoliCast. Do you have any final words you'd like to say, Ren?
Eat your vegetables. Make sure you sleep early. That's it.
And
That's all I gotta say.
Pace yourselves and take a step back. Thanks for joining, Ren, and see you guys next time.